Hi everyone, Amy from AMPO here, coming to be with you again. We're here to talk more about annual giving programs and the strategy behind them. AMPO is spending some time this year coming and talking directly to you about annual giving. Lots of times annual giving becomes like a series of tasks that you're just checking off the list. And we know that with a more holistic approach, more holistic strategic approach, that your annual giving program can just accelerate and raise more money for your organization. And so we're here to help. We're here to walk alongside you and share with you week by week some things to be doing to help keep your program on track so that you can benefit from having a more strategic approach. This week, we are going to talk exclusively about your impact piece. So your impact piece is one of the pieces that you'll be utilizing to reach out to donors and take them through a cycle of cultivation. You would take your annual giving programs through a cycle of cultivation just like you would a major gift donor. And so the first piece of that puzzle is an impact piece. And so what that piece does is it helps to inform your donors from last year about their giving and how much they gave last year. And it also tells an impact story of what is happening at your organization and how they helped to make that impact possible. So first we're going to dive in and we're going to talk about the donor piece of this. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to create a part of that piece that shows the donor how much giving they did in the past year. So you'll just run your list, sort it, and do this by calendar year. They're thinking of their giving through the lens of a calendar year, so you want to present material to them through that calendar year as well. Even if you're operating on a fiscal year, your donors don't think of it that way. They think of it as a calendar year. So just meet them where they are and talk to them about it like a calendar year as well. The other thing you can include, if you'd like, you can include how much they've given over the course of their lifetime. You might be surprised, they might be surprised at just how much that donor has given to your organization when you add up all of those little gifts that they've been giving over the course of their lifetime of giving. So I would encourage you to look at that as well. So now let's dive into the story piece of this, because this is where I want to spend a little bit more time and go a little bit deeper with you. So writing a good fundraising story is an art. There is definitely an art to this, and you've seen some really good ones. You know when it works and you know when it doesn't. But there are some formulas that you can use to follow, and my favorite formula is a problem solution formula. And so basically that's what it is the community has a problem, your organization has the solution to the problem, but the only way the solution can get implemented is if donors make gifts to the organization. So it's a 3-step formula that I like to use. Community has a problem, organization has the solution, donor dollars to implement. If you use that kind of a framework, you're going to find it's going to become easier to find that story, and it's going to be easier to tell that story to your donors, both in your print pieces that you're sending out and in individual conversations that you're having with them. The other thing that you want to make sure with this story, with this impact story, is that you're focusing on narrative and not getting too many statistics in there. So if you have a lot of statistics included with your story, people are just going to get lost in the numbers. So you really want to focus on the narrative. If you are going to share statistics, this is going to be counterintuitive, but you're going to want to go small. Like you've heard the saying, like, go small to go big. This is one of those conversations. You're going to want to tell a story that maybe follows one person, that gives the statistic of one family. You're not going to want to talk in the giant numbers of how many people your organization served. And the reason for this is that there's a point where the numbers get so large that a person's brain is just sort of like, oh, I can't make an impact on that. That number's too big, and my gift, it's not going to make an impact on that. So instead, I'm just not going to give. I'm going to give somewhere else where I think my dollars can make an impact. So you want to make sure that you keep those statistics small enough that the person who's reading them through the impact piece, and especially when we start getting into talking about appeals, that they can see themselves as being part of that solution. So there you go. There's your tips for your impact piece. This is a piece that you're going to want to start working on in February. It'd be great if you could get it out the end of February, but you're really kind of shooting end of February, first part of March is when this piece is when you're going to want this piece to go out. So there you go. There's some framework to get you started, and we'll be back next week with some more tips to keep your program headed in the right direction. As always, if you want to talk more about this, if you want to, if you're following along and you'd like some other advice, have a question, just want to say hi, whatever that is, do not hesitate to reach out. You can find me at www.amponow.com. That's the website. You can email me at info@amponow.com. Just stop in, say hi. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know how it's going and if you're appreciating the videos. Have a great week, everyone. Bye.